Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to walk you through the line graphs mini project. Everybody is going to be making a different line graph using this assignment that I've created. So hopefully everybody has been into the learning schedule. This is going to be listed right here, except I don't have it in there yet, but that's where it will be. So you clicked on that and you should be on line graphs mini project. Again, I'm recording the video right now, so that's why I don't have it linked. So for this project, it just says, hello students, today you will be making your very own line graph. Normally we would be making this by hand if we were in class, but I decided that since we are online, we can do it online and it will turn out better anyway. So I made this video tutorial to show you the process, and then you are going to make your own graph and submit it on Google Classroom. And all of that is attached, all the links and everything are attached, and it's the process is lined out below. So basically you'll just follow what I do in this video, but for your own data, and then we will have different graphs posted on Google Classroom. So step one, go to this website and choose any city on this list. This list is of average monthly temperatures for many of the large cities in the world. So if I click on this link, you'll see it opens up, and it seems like a really overwhelming list. This is average cities, or average temperature of most of the large cities in the world, and it has every single continent on here. So honestly, you're welcome to pick any city that you want. I was planning on picking North America, but you know what? I'll do a city in Europe. So all you need to do is go through and figure out whatever city you want, and I would write down the country and the city. So let's see, I will do Copenhagen, Denmark. So I really like Copenhagen. That is a city that I went to when I was studying abroad. So that's what I'm going to do for my city. So I'm just like getting out a piece of paper, and I'm going to write on it Copenhagen, Denmark. And then I'm also going to write out all of the months of the year. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And the reason I'm doing this on a piece of paper, or you can do it somewhere on your computer, is because I don't want to have to go back to this entire table every time I need another data point for Copenhagen. So I'm just going to write down all of the average temperatures, and then when I put that into my line graph, it will be a lot easier. Now the other thing you might notice if you look at these temperatures is I'm like 1.4, 1.4, 3.5. Like what the heck? Those, is Copenhagen just freezing all year round? That is like almost 0 degrees. But here's the thing. Notice up at the top, when we talk about reading titles and reading some different pieces of information off tables, it says average temperatures for selected cities in Europe, and then it says Celsius, and then in parentheses is Fahrenheit. Well, we are used to reading Fahrenheit. So when I go through and I look at all of the temperatures for Copenhagen, Denmark, you could do this in Celsius, but that's not going to be as helpful for your brain. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to write all of the temperatures down in Fahrenheit because that's what I'm more used to. So for example, and I'm going to go through by month, so the average temperature for Copenhagen in January is 34.5. And then I'm going to go to the next one. The average temperature for February is also 34.5. And I will post what my little post-it note looks like that I'm creating on the assignment so that you can see what that looks like as well. So Copenhagen in March is 38.3. And then I'm just going to go through and get all of the average temperatures for Copenhagen. So you should be on your city, whatever city you chose. Again, you need the city and the country written down, and then you are going through each month and you are writing down the average temperatures. I think this is like the hardest part, is just figuring out which numbers go where. There's a lot of columns and rows to sift through. Okay, so September is 57.0. 49.6, 41.9, and 36.5. All right, so I went through and I got the 12 temperatures in Fahrenheit. The last one is like the yearly average. So if you're looking in that last column and you're like, what the heck, there are only 12 months, it's because that last one is just the yearly average. So for example, the yearly average for Copenhagen's 48.4, but that's not going to be included in my data set. So if you're still not done with this, pause the video, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to do the next step. But again, you need a city, you need a country, so that we can put that on our table as a label. And then you need all of the temperatures and the month. So you're going to want to write down like January and then what the average temperature was. February, what the average temperature was. All right, you can do that in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is in parentheses. I think Fahrenheit will be easier because that's what our brains are used to. So once you have that information written down, you can go back to the line graphs mini project, and it says step 2. In another tab, open this website. So this website is one that I found that I really like, and you can see I have it open twice, but it helps you make a line graph just in a really straightforward way. You basically just have to put everything in these little fields, and I'll tell you how to do that, and then it's going to generate a line graph beneath. So the first thing you want to do is put a graph title. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm just going to say average temperatures in Copenhagen, Denmark. And keep in mind, anytime you have a city and then the country, there is a comma between it if you want to get a little particular. So like we live in, I live in Overland Park, comma, Kansas. Same thing, Kansas, comma, United States. So it's the same sort of formatting as city-state. But average temperatures and so obviously you're going to put whatever your city was. So say you wanted to do like Miami, Florida. You'd say average temperatures in Miami, comma, Florida. Or you could say Miami, comma, USA, I guess if you want to do it the same way I'm doing it here. Then we have to go through and we have to label our axes. So along the bottom of our graph, we're going to have years. And then along the side of our graph, we are going to have temperatures in Fahrenheit. So again, these correspond with our X and Y axes. So my X axis is my horizontal axis, and that is going to be months of the year. I hope that's what I said earlier. Months of the year. You can just put months, I guess. And then the vertical axis, so that's my y-axis, is going to be temperature degrees Fahrenheit. You can just put degrees F. So right now we have done the graph title. We have put in the label for our x-axis, and I've put in the label for my y-axis. And then the next thing you need to do is when you start putting in your data. And the way we're going to do the horizontal axis, it says we have a couple options. You can either do data labels, data values, or data range. We're going to do data labels because our data labels are going to be the different months of the year separated by commas. So you're going to do January. I'm just going to do Jan, Feb, Mar, April, May, June, obviously, you might take a little more time on that. Remember, back to the typing test, I'm a quick typer. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. If you wanted to put in like all of the, the full month, you could do that. I'm going lazy and doing an abbreviation. And then after you have that done, it says number of lines. This is if we were comparing like multiple cities. So you're welcome to go crazy and do like 3 lines, and you could do all your different cities in here. But I'm just going to show you how to do 1 line. So that just means I'm going to have 1 line of data. Whoa, guys, what just happened? Whew, I don't know, an ad tried to get me and I fought it off. Okay, so sorry, I'm just being a goof now. So I have all of these things in, and what's nice with this website is you can kind of go through and see like, okay, you know, this is looking pretty good. So I have average temperatures in Copenhagen, Denmark. I have months along the bottom. Right now I don't have any data, so that's why like the months look kind of weird. And then I have temperature degrees Fahrenheit. So far we're rocking. Then what you're going to do where it says line 1 data values, these are going to be the different average temperatures, and you want to put them in order because your the computer knows that like the first temperature I put in goes with January. The second one I put in goes with February. So as long as you keep them in order and you put in all 12 temperatures, it's automatically going to make the line graph how we want. So for example, for January, I have 34.5. So I'm just going to type that in. And then I don't think we have to put commas. February, 34.5 again. March, 38.3. April, 45.9. And I'm just going to go through that way, and I'm putting in all of the temperatures that I had. And this is why it's nice if you have it written down somewhere separately, or you could go like split screen style and just look at the original website if that's your thing. Or you could be crazy and copy and paste. So it's kind of up to you. I'm just trying to show you how I did it and how I think it's probably easiest. And you can see, oh shoot, why does that keep happening? Keep clicking on something accidentally. Okay, so you can see what happened. It went through and it put all of the data points on my graph. So it says like for January and then what the temperature is. For February, what the temperature is. So that's really cool. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to change the label. So right now my little legend just says line 1. I'm going to say Copenhagen. Temp, and then on the side of my graph when it sort of loads, you'll see that it changed it to Copenhagen temp. So that's basically it, honestly. All we did was we went in and we put in all the different features. It's really important that you can identify the features on the line graph because if you're going to make a line graph, you have to kind of know where everything goes and understand how to read it. But that's about it. And the nice thing is you can make line graphs not only on a website like this one, rapidtables.com, but also things like Excel, Google Sheets. A lot of different computer programs can make line graphs for you as long as you just understand how to go through and label everything. And something I'm noticing that maybe I can change. I put commas between all the data labels, but I don't think they were necessary. So if you followed me, good. But I think with this one, it only needs spaces between your labels. So let me see if that changes anything. I don't know if you even noticed, but I have commas between each of these. Well, it doesn't seem to have changed anything. Regardless, that doesn't really matter. So then the last thing that I want you to do is save this and put it as a comment on Google Classroom. So the way that you're going to do that, I think you can save it through this website. Let's see if that worked. So I just hit the little save button and then hopefully this worked. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. So that worked out great. It's just going to save it as a PNG file, which is fine. That's just an image file. So I am going to find that. I think it went to my downloads, so let me look. Yep, it went right here. So we have bar graph that's in my downloads. So all you need to do is you can go onto Google Classroom and then you should be able to comment and upload a photo. I will make sure that that works. If you want to just write a little description of what you did as well, then you can. And if that is not an option for you guys, then I will make it an assignment that you can turn in. But I really wanted you to be able to see the other people in the class and the bar graphs that they made, or sorry, the line graphs that they made. Additionally, if you want to get a little crazy, you can add as many lines as you want. So if you wanted to compare like the temperatures in Copenhagen with temperatures in different locations, all you would do is you would put the temperatures in for the different cities. So I could be like, okay, Dallas, which is in the United States, or you could even say Dallas, Texas, and then you could put in the temperatures there, and that's a really good way to compare the graphs. The only thing about that is you would want to change the title, because it wouldn't be average temperatures in Copenhagen, Denmark. It'd be like comparing temperatures around the world or something like that. So that's my example. I'm going to post that example, and then I think the rest of the instructions in here are pretty self-explanatory. So fill in the parts of the graph maker using the video as a guide. Cool. I thought you were going to have to screenshot, and you certainly can, or you can save using that feature on the website. That's actually way easier, so I'm just going to say to do that. You can kind of see how I make an assignment for you guys before it goes live. So save using that feature on the website, cool, and then upload as a comment on Google Classroom so that other workshop students can see your work. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you are welcome to shoot me an email, or you can put your question in the question doc, and I will go through and update that as quickly as I can. If you do this really fast and you want to do more, I would love to see however many line graphs that you guys make, and we can have a little chat about them in the comment section of this post. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.